Good afternoon, everybody. How you doing? It's wee Paddy from across the Shuck, and I was going to do this video earlier, but I had to babysit a grandchild, and I just didn't get it done. So I've got my podcast tonight, and the man who created these beautiful knives, Ben from Jack Wolf Knives, is on the podcast tonight. But I just need to get this video out because these are going on sale tomorrow at 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. tomorrow at Fraymar Knives. It's the only place in the UK where they're for sale. Around the rest of the world, you just go onto Ben's website and you'll get times and places and the companies that are selling them throughout the world. But for the UK, Frank at Fraymar Knives is your man. And excellent service we get from Frank, as we have from the very first knife. I'm going to talk about, these are my 6 favourite Jack Wolf knives at the moment in my collection. I adore every one of them, so I don't have to say that anymore. These two are the first 2 knives that we've had in 2024. This was the first one, and this is the second one. We'll talk to them in a minute. But what I'm going to do at the end of this video, I'm going to remind you, I should say, first of all, please like, subscribe, comment, and if you feel like sharing, hit that wee share button. It makes all the difference. Really does make a big difference. And YouTube are killing me at the minute. They're taking more subs than I'm getting. But let's get back to this again. I've been having a lot of thinking. Now, January was a slow month. There's still some of these left. Please don't miss them if you haven't had one. I mean, if you didn't get the first lot, this just is an amazing knife. You know, it's the gun stock, but it is probably the best gun stock I've ever held. It is so nice. Your front 2 fingers go up here, and then you get the step back to the butt of the gun stock, and it is incredibly comfortable. A good full-size knife with a full 4-finger grip. Gorgeous knife. There's still some available at Frank's. Just ask him when you're there. They are amazing. And the other thing, I am getting very fond of these hand-rubbed satin finishes. These are just blooming beautifully done. It's hard to believe that this is a production knife because it is gorgeous. It really is amazing. I've got 3 of them. This one, this month's one, and the large locking knife. And would you believe that's in my top 6? Unbelievable. The knife world just amazes me sometimes. But this is the one that's come out this way. This is the Midnight Jack. This is the re-release of it. Really, the only difference in this is the larger sharpening choil, which I really appreciate because I'm a hand sharpener. Really love it. This was the first one, I believe, that had the 3-ring bolster, and where this perpetuation now is, nearly all of them have a 3-ring bolster, which I adore. I love this carbon fiber because to me, this is more of the traditional looking knife. We've got lots of these brightly colored modern, cover materials, but the old traditional in me, I do like this. I really, really like this. And yeah, it's just a gorgeous knife. It's a great work knife. It's a ram's foot, sheep's foot, whatever you want to call it. But again, I'm not going to go over it. This fit and finish doesn't change. And if it changes, then there'll be, it'll be the start of, I don't know. It's just immaculate, and I'm sure sometimes you get bored watching people say, oh, it's fantastic. There's no gaps. There's no nothing. It is. And listen to the sound. Bang. Like a sergeant major. Bang. Closed up. Perfect alignment. Everything about these are beautiful knives. So let's leave it there. What I want to talk about is, one, what's this knife for? Look, you can get these knives in the prettiest scales, and there's some fantastic ones this month. Really, really super ones. With the chaotic, what do they call it? The chaotic Kieranite. They just look amazing. Absolutely amazing. And go on to Frank's website. You'll see them all there, and you can be able to see them up close, and that's where you're going to get the best picture of them. Just go on to Fraymar Knives, onto their website, check them out before tomorrow night, because I mean, I could stick a picture up here, but it's not going to give you the detail that you'll get at Frank's. You'll get about 4 or 5 different pictures of each knife and the material that's on them, and it's just amazing colours. But this one, for me, really stood out because it was more of that traditional look. Carbon steel, this is a carbon fiber, I should say. Beautiful carbon fiber. It's alive, it moves with the light. It really is lovely. And it really blends with the grey scales. The hand satin finish with the long pull. Everything that I like in a knife. It's just a fantastic working knife. Really working knife. Or have one that you want to put sitting up on the side. It doesn't matter. It's just a fantastic knife. But what I was going to talk about other than this, because this was out before, I can't fault this. I just cannot fault it. I'd love to come up with something that was maybe a wee bit out of place or something. They just don't happen. Or if they do, they're very, very minor and rare. But everything about this is just a fantastic fit and finish, fantastic looking knife. And I'm so glad I've got this. And these top six are knives that I'll use. I mean, they're just knives that I'll use. I've had this from the first year. And these three were last year, and then these two this year. So they're starting to spread out now. As we get newer models, I like different handles better than I've done before. But the one thing that's true is just how good they are. They're amazing. Behind the edge thickness, everything that you want. And now with this satin rub, I think it's just taken it to another level for me. But I want to do something a wee bit different this week. I mean, you'd have to be somewhere lost behind a rock in the moon if you haven't seen all the other knives in the YouTube videos out there. So I'm going to take it a wee bit different. Everybody knows that I am more of a traditional knife collector. And these are all very sort of modern in their materials. I would love to see, I've got a few ideas what I would like to see throughout the year coming up, or whenever Ben gets a chance to do them. And maybe he's got some of these in the way. We never know. As a reviewer, we never know what's coming until the day that we get them. We don't know. So I've had some ideas of what I would love that would maybe change it up towards the traditional knife lover. And we've got an awful lot of new people coming into the community through Ben's Knives, and I love that. The more people we can get into slip joints that realise that what a fantastic knife they are, so much less maintenance, so just easy to look after and keep, just lovely. So I've decided to go round. That's why I picked my top six and I brought them out. And I wanted to give a size comparison. This is the GEC Boys knife, which is my favourite small knife. It gives me a 4-finger grip, and I can do anything I want in a day with this knife. This is the smallest Jack Wolf, and it's exactly the same size as the Boys knife, which is perfect. So anything else that gives me an absolute full grip, some bigger than this, but this is enough to give me a full grip. And look at that bone. Just look at that bone if it was on there. I really would love bone to come, but it will come when Ben's ready, and that's it. But some of the other things that I wanted to do, and then I want you to join in down below, and I want you to go through these 6 knives and give me some of the things that you would like on them, you'd like to see, so that we can pass it on to Ben. I've got a meeting tonight. I don't know where I'll get to see many of the, probably not that many going to watch it before then, but let's try, and get as many as you can in, and I'll put them through them tonight. Let me go through the ones that I've got. This one, what I would love to see is in a Barlow, like that, with a large Barlow with the 3 rings, no end cap, obviously because it's a Barlow. But I would love to see blue Jean Micarta, a really good blue Jean Micarta and the Barlow. That would just look, blue looks lovely, but Jean Micarta, I think would look, and I know we haven't had Micarta for a while, but it wasn't being bought at the time. But I think if we start to get back to these, like a little Barlow. I mean, we know how popular little Barlows are. Case, GEC, whatever you name, when they're out, they're sold. I think little Barlows more often, different blade shapes, different materials. But that's what I would like on that one. And these are just my opinions. This one I think is beautiful, but what I would love is red burlap micarta on that. This is already red and grey, but say, the burlap micarta, maroon red burlap micarta with grey through it. How gorgeous would that look? Really nice. This one, I love this jigged, but I would love the jigged portion of it to be in something like a mustard yellow Cerakote on this part of it. leave the bolster where it is, and it'll stand out more as a take on a Barlow, although it's a locking knife. But a really lovely rich color, like a mustardy yellow, I think is lovely. But again, everybody's going to like different colors. These are just my opinions. This one is definitely, I think, I don't know, it's going to seem a bit, I think a red G10, a lovely, smooth, shiny red G10 where you can see all the marks in the G10, the lines in the G10. I think that would look lovely on that. That's the Vampire Jack. Again, Vampire red, sort of my thing. We haven't had a G10 yet. I think this might be the first one that for me would take it. This one, I'm sorry, the gun stock, I want wood, and I want the diamond patterned wood that you would get on a large gun, handle, a fancy posh shotgun or whatever you want to have. But that the checkered diamond pattern that you'll get on a lot of gun stocks, that would look, in fact, I've actually got one here that I can show you. This is just a Rough Rider one, but by God, does it lift a Rough Rider. Look at that. There's the Rough Rider gun stock. Can you imagine having that on that? I just think it would look lovely. And if it was, I think even if it was a black, some sort of black wood, like I know ebony's a bit stole, but Cocobolo or something like that he can stabilize. Having a stabilized wood or bone that's on this one would just look amazing on there. I really do think that would be a perfect knife for that. To bring in a bit of bone, maybe a checkered bone, that would be the perfect knife. And this one, I genuinely love this one. And to be honest, all I can see on this to make it look even better is maroon polished micarta. A dark, rich maroon polished micarta on that. I think that would look absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. So they're my ideas. I mean, obviously I would like bone and more wood, but I realise that Ben has to be careful which wood he uses. And I know that's on his long finger and he's working on it probably all the time. But would you put down, if you can, what would be yours? What would you change? What would you like to see that you haven't seen before? The micarta we used to have was sort of plain. I would love that. I just think this is just, take off this end cap, make it a nice little Barlow, and put really high quality Gene micarta because it looks amazing. I know GEC have done it. A lot of other companies have done it with really good micarta, and it looks super. Again, I don't even know whether that's available. Again, this is just a thought process. This is just to get you talking what you would think. But this, honestly, is one of the best working knives you'll ever get. It really is. It'll do anything. Absolutely. Maybe not a great sandwich cutter, but yeah, you're going to use, do you need a Jack Wolf? I mean, there's plenty of other, this one's a great sandwich cutter. This one's a great sandwich cutter. There's plenty out there that'll cut your sandwiches, but this as a work knife, this as a just do anything knife. It really is a just do anything. And a beautiful big blade. I have a large hand, and there's room for more on this. You can see it coming out there. There's room for more hand on this. If you've got a fairly large hand, this is just a must. I think it is beautiful in hand. Really is. Good grip. And tomorrow night, there's these fantastic colors out there. If you've got one that you really want, or get in early, because the fancy ones will definitely go, I would think, within minutes tomorrow night. The other ones, I don't know. I could be totally wrong. It might change and they'll lie on the other ones. You never know. With knife people are a bit sort of, they like one thing 1 minute and then they go to buy it and they change. That's what I do. I'm terrible for changing whatever. So there was my picks for them, and I want to pass it on to Ben. Well, he'll probably watch the video, I would think, and see what what sort of things would you like to see in the coming, probably towards the end of this year and next year, because I'm sure he has already lined up, and maybe he's got some of the things I've said. I don't know, but I want to see what you think. Really important to me to see what you think, and important for Ben to see, because I think we've done really well on the modern side of it. I want them to look a bit more traditional now. I don't mean everything has to look traditional, but one or two in each batch that have got a traditional material, a natural material. I think the time has come for that. And maybe that the high polished and burlap micarta, I think would just be beautiful, or the Gene micarta. I think we should try them. I think people will like them. Let me know whether you'd like that, and what you would like if not that. All right, look, take care. These are coming out tomorrow. It is fantastic as always. Please, please, please watch the podcast tonight. Ben is on it, and I'm going to put my suggestions to Ben and see what a reaction we get. He's very hard to get something out of, Ben, but we'll see what sort of a reaction and if it's on his wavelength. And any of you who get in beforehand and put down what you would like, I will certainly bring it up tonight and put your offerings towards him and let him see. So there you go. That's it. The next Jack Wolf night and these line of amazing knives. This is my top 6. What's your top 6? If you've got 6, what's your top 1? Which is your favourite? And which handle material would you like on it the next time it comes round? Or maybe you just like the one you've got. Let me know down below. Get a bit of a chat going. And hopefully we can pass them on to Ben, and it might be of some help. Take care, everybody. Paddy's away to get ready for my podcast, which starts at 7:30 tonight. Don't forget, Framework Knives, tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. You can then bid for your knives. Get there at 7. Get there at 5 to 7. Make sure you're there on time and get the one that you want. Thank you ever so much. Don't forget, like, subscribe. Really important to get me on that algorithm, because I'm not paid, as I told you, by YouTube anymore. I'm on my own self. Right, I'll stop waffling, Stephen. Just get on with it. Bye. Cup of tea time.